I was grabbing my keys, ready to charge my Tesla, when I spotted a chunky padlock clamped onto my driveway's EV charger. A smug violation notice flapping in the Wyoming breeze, courtesy of HOA Queen Bee Linda Carver. No heads up, no permission, just her brazen move to control my property. So I rigged the charger with a paint blast trap, thinking I'd catch her red-handed, only to watch her niece get doused in blue goo instead, sparking a war that had burned down her empire. That moment, with my dog Baxter barking and Linda's smug grin fading, turned my quiet ranch life into a showdown I never saw coming. I'm Ethan Holt, 36, a former Army tech specialist who traded desert missions for a 2-acre spread in Sagebrush Valley, a tidy Wyoming suburb where I fix gadgets in my garage workshop. I grew up in Cheyenne, learning circuits from my electrician dad and grit from my mom, a nurse who never flinched. After a decade in the service, I craved calm, so I bought this place, a modern rancher with a Tesla charger, permitted and paid for by the previous owner, perfect for my quiet, green life. Baxter, my German shepherd, keeps watch, his tail wagging unless trouble's near. Half a mile away, Clearview Heights sits, a gated enclave with an HOA that thinks it owns the sun. Linda Carver runs it, mid-50s, sleek bob, always in designer yoga gear, her tablet a scepter. She rolled up my first week, eyeing my charger like it was graffiti. "It's out of place," she said, handing me a community standards letter she'd typed herself. I showed her the permits, all legit, no HOA rules broken. Her lips pursed. Standards evolve. That's when I knew she wasn't just picky. She was power-hungry, and my charger was her first target. It started subtle, like a hum you don't notice until it's deafening. Linda's letters came weekly, claiming my charger violated visual harmony, citing fake complaints about electrical hazards. I filed them, my permits ironclad. She'd linger across the street, snapping photos, her poodle yapping. At a block party, she told neighbors my charger tanked property values. I brushed it off, tweaking drones in my garage, Baxter snoozing nearby, but Linda got bolder. One morning, I found that padlock, a violation notice screaming, "Unauthorized installation." Called her. "Linda, this is my property. Take it off." Her voice was syrupy, sharp. "Ethan, we enforce standards. Schedule a meeting." I cut the lock with bolt cutters, my army cool keeping me steady, but spotted cameras, 7 in a 100-yard radius, angled at my house, not random security but a network. Neighbors like Susan Hayes, who'd wave but ask odd questions. Late-night clients? Power surges. Felt like spies. Linda wasn't just an HOA nag. She was running a surveillance state, and I'd tripped her wire. Linda's game wasn't about aesthetics. It was control. Her divorce left her with a big house and a bigger need to rule, and my charger, a symbol of freedom she couldn't touch, drove her nuts. She didn't just want compliance. She wanted to break anyone who didn't fit her cookie-cutter vision, using cameras and lies to tighten her grip. I met her at the community center, a sterile room with charts like a war room. She slid over new rules, fresh off a printer. No vote, no minutes. "Your charger's non-compliant," she said, eyes glinting. "Show me the board's vote." I shot back. Her smile twitched. "Confidential." I left, knowing she'd made it personal. That night, a text from Caleb Dunn, an electrician I didn't know. "Check your email. She's deeper than you think." His files, schematics, receipts, showed Linda funneling HOA cash into cameras, bypassing permits. She wasn't just bullying. She was breaking laws. I could have fought her with lawyers, but my tech brain had other ideas. Caleb, who'd wired her systems before she blackballed him, pitched a plan. Rig the charger with a motion-triggered paint sprayer, hidden in the housing, to catch her tampering. "It's defensive," he said, sketching circuits. "She touches it. She's blue, and we've got proof." We spent a day wiring it, testing it, my cameras ready to roll. I knew Linda would strike. She'd already sent fake parking fines, planted a camera by my window. But her next move was crueler. She spread rumors I was a troubled vet, unstable, dangerous. Susan and her clique shunned me. Kids stopped biking past. At night, I'd hear Baxter growl at shadows. Linda wasn't just after my charger. She wanted me gone, like the families she'd driven out before. Caleb's intel revealed her past. As Linda Morrow, she'd been banned from HOAs in Nevada and Utah for embezzlement, harassing folks until they sold. She changed her name, moved here, and built a surveillance web with HOA funds. I linked up with Walt Granger, a retired auditor who'd been tracking her for months, and Jenny Ortiz, a barista whose family Linda had targeted over a non-compliant fence. She's a predator, Walt said, showing files on her scams. We planned to expose her at her emergency HOA meeting, where she'd push to boot me. But first, the trap. I activated the paint system, expecting Linda to tamper again. Instead, her niece, Sarah Miles, a 24-year-old law student, triggered it, screaming as blue paint drenched her, sobbing in my driveway. My gut sank. This wasn't justice. It was a setup. Linda swooped in with a camera crew, filming Sarah's distress, crying, "Ethan's dangerous." She'd sent Sarah, claiming my charger was unsafe, knowing the trap would fire. The police came, Sarah threatening assault charges. I couldn't explain without admitting intent, and Caleb vanished, spooked. Linda's trap was perfect. She'd framed me as a violent vet, using Sarah as bait. At the station, her witnesses, HOA cronies, called me unhinged. But Sarah's story wobbled. She looked confused when Linda claimed community safety. I was drowning until Walt called. "Linda's not who she says," he said, urgent. "She's Linda Morrow, a con artist. And Sarah's not her niece. She's her ex's cousin's kid, manipulated with tuition money." Walt had court records, bans from 2 states, proof Linda stole $30,000 from HOA funds for cameras. Caleb resurfaced, handing over recordings of Linda plotting to use Sarah, laughing about breaking the vet. Sarah, hearing them, flipped, her trust shattered. "She lied to me," she said, voice steel. "I'll testify." Jenny rallied neighbors, all with stories of Linda's fines, threats, forced moves. We had a case, and the HOA meeting was our battlefield. The Clearview clubhouse was packed, 70 residents crammed in, tension thick as fog. Linda stood at the podium, polished in a navy blazer, showing slides of Sarah's paint-soaked misery, calling me a threat to safety. "Vote Ethan Holt out," she urged, voice dripping concern. Walt took the mic, calm but lethal. "Before we vote, meet Linda Morrow," he said, projecting her rap sheet. Embezzlement, harassment, banned in 2 states. Gasps rippled. Caleb played her recordings, her voice chilling. "Let the girl trigger it. He'll look like a monster." Sarah stood, trembling. "She used me, lied about Ethan, paid my tuition to control me." Jenny held up fines, photos of Linda's cameras. Susan, Linda's ally, cracked, revealing recordings of Linda planning harassment. "She bragged about breaking people," Susan said, voice shaking. Walt dropped the bomb. "The FBI's investigating her for fraud across state lines." Cops walked in, cuffs ready. Linda screamed, "You'll pay for this!" as they led her out, face pale, empire dust. The vote flipped, unanimous to oust her, install Walt as interim chair. Linda pled guilty, got 3 years, paid restitution. Sagebrush scrapped her rules, tore down her cameras, set up open votes. Sarah moved to a new law school, vowing to fight HOA scams. Caleb's now the go-to electrician, fixing Linda's messes. Walt runs a transparent HOA, neighbors waving again, kids playing freely. I'm back in my workshop, Baxter at my feet, charger humming. No locks, no lies. Under the Wyoming stars, I feel it. Not just peace, but victory, built from truth and folks who stood up. But here's the question. Was Linda a one-off crook? Or are HOAs rigged for tyrants like her? Did we win or just delay the next one? Drop your thoughts below. Ever tangle with a bully hiding behind a title? Share this if Baxter's growl or that paint blast sparked you, and let's talk about fighting for what's yours. Because in this valley, we don't just charge cars, we charge back.